ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome to the Waterstone Election 2020 podcast. I'm your host, editor of the daily blog, Martyn Bradbury. Joining me live from his Waterstone compound in Albany, libertarian, political commentator and stuff columnist Damien Grant. Less than 10 weeks until the 2020 New Zealand election and the bombshells just don't stop. In the wake of the Michelle Bogue leaked email scumbaggery, Todd Muller, the leader of the National Party, has made a shock resignation this morning. Damien Grant, which one of the following three facts should terrify National the most?
Are they really facts?
They are.
Okay.
1, that Muller's was the shortest leadership since the National Party formation in May 1936. 2, that whoever replaces him will need to go up against Jacinda Ardern, one of the most powerful prime ministers in recent political history. Or 3, we haven't yet seen what the inquiry will reveal. Which one of those three facts should be putting the shits up them?
Well, let's deal with the third one.
Yes.
Right? Now that we're going to get a brand new, fresh, clean National Party leader, we can bury that inquiry. That inquiry happened...
Great news for National. Great news for National.
That inquiry happened on the last leader, so that the new leader coming in can wash their hands and say, there is no, that blood is not on my toga. Okay, so the
our
third
dead
one,
spot.
Yes, so the third one is gone. The first one.
So let me just get this straight. You feel your position is that a month out, I understand, from the 2020 September election, there's going to be the inquiry results that will show some pretty unsavoury behaviour by senior members of the National Party.
It's fine. The new National Party leader can simply say this happened under the previous administration. And, okay, there may have been some blood sacrifice committed, but that happened under the previous administration.
Not me.
Not me.
I see.
My hands are clean, assuming, of course,
their hands are clean. Right.
So I think we can probably rule out some of the front bench members. That might be part of the selection process.
Reshuffle.
Have you received any emails from Michelle Bogue in the last month? Because if you have, don't even bother putting the name forward.
You're out.
And I mean, who cares that he's been there for what?
Nothing.
5-6 weeks.
Yes.
I actually think come September, nobody will care about that.
4 leaders in one term. That's a good thing, is it?
Well,
where's the Australians?
Isn't that what happened leading up to Jacinda Ardern? How many leaders did they have?
Okay, let's just put this argument that you
I know you think she walks on water.
Let's just put this to one side. The reason why Jacinda did what she did in 2017 because Girlfriend is a phenomenon. That's why that happened. Are you honestly telling me someone in the National Party rank and file is on par with... Oh my Lord, are you insane? Are you absolutely insane? The beast that walks, Darth Vader, is going to be is going to be what saves National.
Look, it says here, anyone who really wants to have a career in politics needs to treat it like a skilled trade. Learn the basics, learn them well, and undermine and white ant your leaders. That's what it says here in the book.
We know that there are discrepancies in the public statements of Bogue, Walker, Muller, and Woodhouse. Has Muller jumped before he would be pushed by the inquiry?
No. I think we need to take it at face value. The word is he's had an issue, and...
Well, yeah, if you're going to be out in an inquiry, I understand you would have some issues.
Jordan Williams described Muller's behaviour as cowardly. I'm not too sure that I would quite go that far, but I do point out back in the day we used to get 17-year-olds with guns and tell them to go and fight over the Turks. So the fact that it was a bit hard, my question would be, at the time that he was running for leadership, if he did not understand that about himself, that he had no business putting himself forward, and I also am surprised there were not people close enough to him that said, this is a hard job. This is really hard and it's really tough. If only there was somebody in the media who had been saying that this guy was not fit for the role.
Like your good self, like your good self. Like you, yeah. The I told you so express is pretty much, it's come early, hasn't it? It really has. So let's just go back to the entire rationale why Muller had to take over from Simon Bridges. Simon Bridges was too unlikable. Muller will bring in the soft, sort of cozy hug.
He was too soft.
And he stepped in. The party went with him. These are a bunch of backbench MPs who were suddenly frightened they might lose their jobs. So this was motivated by cowardice that combined with a tall man's false confidence. And you've got the fiasco right in front of us.
Remember when we had Nikki Kay was on the Sean Plunkett working group?
Yep.
And Nikki Kay said, and I believed her. She said that she believed in Todd Muller.
That was a very foolish belief, wasn't it?
Well. But I think again we should take her statement at face value. She seemed genuine when she said that. She did believe in Todd Muller. Now, okay.
Well, does that say something about her then? I mean, this had meltdown written on it from day one.
Well, I think the question is Todd Muller didn't believe in Todd Muller.
Oh my lord!
I think that was
I think he believed in himself too much, didn't he? This is unrampant ego that he thought he could just walk in and do it.
As some wise columnist said and stuff, he is the outcome. He is a product of an educational system that rewards attendance rather than achievement.
Let's have a look at the winners here. Labour, surely this is 50% plus territory now, right? It's a majority Labour government in September, isn't it?
If the election was held now, yes, I would say it would be a Labour majority government.
So in 10 weeks, all you're hoping for is the plague gets through the border and starts killing large numbers of New Zealand. I don't want the plague to come through the border. Or an economic meltdown. Is that it? That's the only way national win now.
Why do I... You know
That's it.
You know my politics, Martin. There is no
Texas theft.
There is no difference between Labour and National.
Yeah, I know. Warped and crazy.
Care.
Surely a win here is ACT. ACT are just going to be beside themselves in joy.
I mean,
right?
we have both independently heard the rumour that ACT are at 9%.
9%. That is a phenomenal move.
And because we have both heard that rumour from two different sources.
Yes. It must be true.
Or the same person spreading it. So that's really interesting. So
Yes.
Martin and I have both heard the rumour that ACT are currently on 9%. Here's the problem, though, because I think I think they probably vetted the first 3 or 4.
They haven't vetted all of them. And this is the problem, surely, for ACT, isn't it? David Seymour, if he had stuck to his principles, would be looking at a really good crop right now. But because he's done a deal with these gun nuts, you danced with the devil in the pale moonlight, the devil doesn't change, you change. And those candidates have some interesting thoughts on 1080. Have you had a chance to look at some of their thoughts on 1080?
No, I was too frightened.
Oh, it's pretty crazy.
I saw that headline. What did Nikki McKee said that after there's a 1080 drop, it was deathly quiet.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's his speech into the party. Good for you. Can't wait for that.
I did not. I saw the headline and I was too frightened. I was too frightened to read the rest of the
It's terrible. It gets way worse, and we'll let you know all the details when we're in the 6 weeks of the campaign, because I'd hate for you to take them off. They're beautiful people. We need to hear from them. More from them. Simon Bridges, surely he's one of the winners here. How smug and happy must Simon Bridges be feeling now?
Do you think... well, actually, we both know the answer to this question, so we should... But should he take it?
It's a pretty poison chalice at this point.
Take it?
If he was smart, he would wait until after the election, surely. Allow whatever clown is going to take the fall for this, and then step up on the other side of the wreckage. Why would you go into this with that inquiry like a time bomb ticking there all the way up to the election, ready to go off?
Hold on.
Why step in?
No, Simon Bridges can simply say, that happened under Todd's administration, not mine. There's no love lost between Todd Muller and Simon
that's
Bridges.
true. That's true.
But we come back to, because we were debating this before we came on air, your view of the future is very simplistic and one-dimensional.
Jacinda will walk on water.
Okay, right.
She will bring children back from the dead, and there's a lot of food being passed around. Yeah, it's going to be great days, great times.
But my analysis is slightly different.
It's a little bit different.
Okay, so I think
apparently this is great news for National.
There are
never been a better time.
There are 3 things that could cause that. Three prerequisites to a change of government.
Yep.
The first is that the Greens must fall under 5%.
Okay.
And you've been fairly consistent saying that they won't.
Yeah. I believe that they, for the last 3 years, I believe they would because they've been just so ensconced in middle class identity politics, and it's so alienating to the voter. But with this, we want to kick the rich pricks, even though it's a crazy policy. I think that might be enough to keep them over 6. Sorry, over 5.
But most of the voters are rich pricks, as we've discussed before. Poor
Yeah, but
people don't vote for the Greens.
they're self-whipping, self-flagellating rich pricks. They'll love it. They'll
I
love
don't know.
it.
I think they like the idea of being virtuous. They're not too sure that they want to pay.
Yeah, but I don't think they
of
understand the
them to,
policy because the Greens don't seem to understand the policy. Their
That's-
followers
that's
aren't
true.
likely to either.
So three things need to
Yep.
happen. First, the Greens need to fall under 5%. If the Greens are over 5, then as you said, little baby Jesus couldn't save National.
That's right.
The second thing is that there needs to be an outbreak, as we've seen in Melbourne. All right. So
And it has to be blameable to the government incompetence-wise,
yeah,
right?
it needs
Yep.
to be.
Yep.
And at the moment, that's a possibility, although hopefully unlikely. And the third thing that needs to happen is that there needs to be a major economic collapse. And at
Yes.
the moment, there's no real indications of that. But
Yep.
that, as we've seen in the past with the GSE, that can happen really fast.
Yes.
So those three things need to happen for National
In the
to have
next
a
10
shot.
weeks.
And that is all other than the release of COVID-19. Those three things are outside the control of the National Party. So the question for Simon Bridges or anybody who takes that potentially poisoned chalice is if they take it, then they're really running a long shot. I mean, my guess that it'd be somewhere between 5 and 10% chance that they could take the crown.
If the
Is that worth
answer
taking
is
it?
Judith Collins, the question must be what will terrify the bejesus out of Middle New Zealand? Because surely they will recoil in horror when they see the moonlight glistening on her fangs.
I disagree. I mean, I don't know that Judith. I understand that Judith scares you.
Only in the way that I like a horror movie scares me.
I mean, I don't like Judith Collins politically because I don't believe that she actually
Stands for
understands.
anything.
She doesn't understand the philosophy that she's. You
Read her book,
read her
right?
book, and she's talking about money laundering.
Yes.
She said, "Oh, I passed the money laundering law. Hey, go me!" But then she says in the next sentence, "I think it's a terrible law." And so I'm sitting there reading, but you were the minister that pushed it.
Yeah.
She said there, I went to meet Milton Friedman with Don Brash, which was lovely. Before she went to meet him, she read his book, Free to Choose. If you haven't read Free to Choose, you have no business being in the political right. She doesn't, she is not, she...
It's so geeky, I love it. So you think the Medusa of dirty politics coming back to lead the party out of a quagmire of dirty politics when there's an inquiry of more dirty politics just before the election, you think that's the magic combo?
I think it's a Hail Mary pass.
It's such a Hail Mary pass!
But the advantage of Judith Collins is that the public know her.
They do. They knew Simon Bridges too, didn't like him either.
The other advantage of Judith Collins, though, is that if they go for somebody like Jerry Brownlee or Mike
A
Mitchell,
night watchman, yep.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a night watchman.
Sure.
So they are saying to the electorate, we know we're going to lose this. We just don't want to lose too badly.
That's right.
If they put in Judith Collins could blow up badly.
Yes.
But Judith Collins, the signal they are sending is that we want to win because Judith Collins would take it to
Okay. Straight up, seeing you already owe me $10 for Hamish Walker last week.
He's still an MP.
That's Jesus. Okay, so straight up, what's the top value, what's the top number Judith Collins as leader of the National Party could bring them? What is it? 34, 35?
No, that is not the way the future works. It all depends. I mean, it all depends on those three factors that I talked about previously.
What's a win? What's a win for National under Judith? 34?
It depends. If there's no COVID outbreak and there's no economic train wreck, I think anything in the high 30s will be considered a win for National at this point in time.
Yep.
So that's assuming no COVID outbreak and no economic collapse.
Yes.
If Judith or Bridges or anybody can get National to the high 30s, then I think they have a really strong claim for holding on to the position.
Let's go quickly through the losers here. Todd Muller clearly bit off way more than he could chew. Yeah?
It's good that he's having more time to spend with his family.
Isn't it lovely? Paula Bennett, what a bad time to have decided to walk out. Oh, no! Right?
Well, she's young enough. She can have another career.
Not in politics.
But hey, look, Amy Adams walked it back and didn't that work out
well?
That
worked out gloriously. Matthew Hooton, our dear friend, your dear friend. Walked away from a career at Radio New Zealand and New Zealand Herald for this.
No.
For this.
It is my belief.
Yeah, let's hear it.
That Matthew Hooton can come back as a commentator from this. And
really?
Yes.
How?
The same
on
way.
this show?
The same way. Listen, Martin, if you can come back from Mana.
Right. Yeah, if I can come back from Cunliffe and Mana, I can. Right, I hear you. I hear you.
But in all seriousness,
yes.
Matthew Hooton has always been an incredibly entertaining writer. He has always pitched himself as the ultimate insider. He has demonstrated unquestionably that he is the ultimate insider.
By using his platform to push for a candidacy of his mate before letting everyone know that he was part of that candidacy.
And you've done that too, and so have I. I was punting pretty hard for Bridges. I was just not as successful as Mr. Hooton was. So I actually think that the Herald...
Hoots is back?
I think the Herald would be crazy not to take him back because he's got that inside juice. And
I want him back on Twitter so we can all ask him. So how was it, Hoots?
Yeah, I would like Matthew. We want to see you
on the show. Yeah.
Special.
Final question. Seriously now, Michael Woodhouse, will he still be the shadow Minister of Health come next week?
No, Michael Woodhouse has questions to answer, and I think those questions are ugly, and I don't know that he has the answers for them. I think that's a real issue. So I think he should fall on his sword before somebody pushes him onto it.
Our next podcast is Tuesday next week, folks, before we go weekly into the election campaign. See you then. All right.